The year is 1903, and Henry Ford is a 40-year-old man standing on the edge of a total professional collapse. To the average passerby in Detroit, he wasn't a visionary, he was a two-time failure. Most Americans today see the blue Ford Oval and think of instant success, but the reality is that the road to the Model T was paved with bankruptcies and broken promises. Henry's first attempt, the Detroit Automobile Company, dissolved after producing only a few low-quality vehicles. His second attempt ended in a bitter feud with his investors, who kicked him out of his own company, a company they later renamed Cadillac. By the time 1903 rolled around, Henry Ford had used up his reputation and was on his third and likely final try. This third attempt was the Ford Motor Company, but it wasn't the powerhouse we know today. It started in a humble wagon factory with just $28,000 in the bank. Ford was obsessed with a radical idea. He didn't want to build toys for the rich, which was the only way car companies survived back then. He wanted to build a car for the man who milked the cows and the man who paved the streets. But his investors were terrified. They wanted high-profit luxury cars. The tension was thick, and the company nearly went under in its first month because they couldn't sell enough Model A units to cover their bills. The breakthrough didn't come from a stroke of luck, but from a stubborn refusal to follow the rules. Ford realized that if he wanted a car for the masses, he had to change how things were made. He began experimenting with vanadium steel, a lightweight, nearly indestructible alloy he discovered at a crashed French race car site. He combined this super material with a revolutionary concept, the moving assembly line. By standardizing every bolt and every gear, he turned the craft of car building into a science. When the Model T finally rolled out in 1908, it wasn't just a car, it was a social earthquake. It was simple, durable, and most importantly, affordable. Because of his previous failures, Ford had learned that complexity was the enemy of the common man. He famously said customers could have any color they wanted, so long as it is black, simply because black paint dried the fastest on the assembly line. By 1918, half of all cars in America were Model Ts. Henry Ford's third try didn't just save his career, it put the world on wheels and proved that in America, a Ford Act can change the course of history.